Did you know 30 people die every day due to alcohol-related car incidents? I once had a friend from high school, and he was at a party drinking one night, and instead of somebody stepping up and telling him that he was too drunk to drive and taking his keys, or him sleeping in his car, he decided to drive. And that night he ended up wrecking about 30 meters from my house and died. I also had another friend that in high school, it was actually after we graduated, he decided to drunk drive to a party after he was already drinking, and he ended up sliding off the road. And when he wrecked, he tore everything in his knee, and the passenger side was pretty much completely destroyed, so he got lucky and survived that one. But he still hasn't recovered, and that was about 7 months ago. I'm here to inform people that driving drunk is not worth it. It's not worth risking your life. Drinking and driving is obviously very dangerous. The odds of making it home after drinking and driving at a party are not in your favor. You should always get a DD beforehand to get you all to the party, safe, and back from the party. And you're not just hurting yourself when you're driving drunk, you're hurting anyone that's on the roads. The first thing we want to talk about is the chances of making it back to wherever you're going safe when drinking and driving. And they aren't good. You not only have to worry about wrecking when driving under the influence, but cops look for the telltale signs of drunk drivers and are quick to pull anyone over that looks suspicious. Cops are out heavy on the weekends, and especially Thursdays in college towns such as Moorhead. If the cops catch you, then that means a DUI, and you will get your license taken away. The worst case, however, is if you wreck. When you're drinking and driving, your perception is off, so obviously you're not going to be driving as good as you would be if you haven't been drinking. And if you wreck while you're driving, the cops will most likely come to check out the wreck, and you'll most likely get a DUI along with that. You should always have a DD though. A DD can save yours and anyone else on the road while you're driving life. A DD should be responsible enough to not take a sip of alcohol the entire night, and before the night starts, you should always make it a priority to choose who will be the DD for that night to get you to the party and back from the party safe. Having a DD could prevent you from getting a DUI and or getting in a wreck. If you cannot find a reliable DD and all else fails, then sleep in your car. It honestly sounds pretty bad, but I've done it multiple times, and I find sleeping in a car for a couple hours uncomfortably a lot better of an idea than driving drunk and possibly getting in a wreck or getting pulled over. And the main thing is, you're not just hurting yourself by driving drunk. Driving drunk puts sober drivers at risk too. Your bad judgment could injure another person, an innocent child or an innocent family. You never know. I know one person that was a few years older than me in high school, and when we were driving home one night from Applebee's, I was with me and my friends, and we ended up being the first ones on the scene actually. And the friend that was older than me he limped over to our car, and the scene of the crash was just crazy. Like, the truck that he came out of was, the passenger side was completely crushed in, and then there was another vehicle that we walked over to, and two drunk drivers got out, and they didn't even know where they were, but they could have easily ended the kids that I knew's life, or anybody that was with them would have been definitely injured, at least. And the drunk driver ended up swerving onto my friend's side of the road and just hit the passenger side, luckily not the driver's side. My friend was extremely lucky when the driver's side was still intact. If something happens to you when you drunk drive, you're leaving behind everyone that cares about you, your friends, your family. It's just not worth it in the end. Especially just to try to get home from a party when there's other options always. As I said before, the odds of making it home besides getting in a wreck or getting pulled over are not good. So be smart and try to find a reliable DD. Even if you feel like you're okay to drive, you're obviously making a bad judgment because you've already been drinking, and even if you feel like you're okay for yourself, you never know, you're putting other people in harm's way. You tell me, is driving drunk worth your life? It only takes one time for you to drive drunk, and the consequences happen right there.